Welcome one, welcome all to the ILA Speak Up 2020 talk show. And today we have the honor of having some of the most experienced, distinguished, and valuable guests to join us today. And with me, your host Sam. Joining us today is Professor Kang, Professor Jolly, Researcher Yang, and Dr. Cullen. Technology has been changing quite a lot lately. So Professor Kang and Professor Jolly, what will happen to technology 50 years then?
In my opinion, first one I will tell you about technology in the daily life. So in the daily life, technology will be endured mostly 70% of manual work. Therefore, all human activities will be changed. So there will be only two main jobs. First one is white collars, and second is robot operators.
To be honest, I partially agree with your idea. Humans, they have feelings and they know how to balance different values of life, but robots don't have feelings. They just act based on what was created by a group of programmers. And you said that robots will replace humans in terms of manual tasks, whether it limits people's creativity or not. So people will depend too much on robots and become lazy.
But I have another one, is artificial intelligence called AI. So people grow, everyone change with different thinking. So we don't have anyone else who can stand up to the ruler. Because of it, AI technology was created to complete the above task. It seems to be a human alike, but it hardly carries emotions to solve fairly and unbiasedly the conflicts.
That sounds amazing. I support that decisions made by AI might be fair without bias, but do you think that life without emotions will be very boring? People born with a head can't force them to live in a cold, emotionless way. A ruler must have both reasons and emotions to come up with the best solution, but AI don't have feelings, so how can they be a good leader in the future?
So ultimately, technology is an essential part of future life. Although there were some concerns, but it wasn't significant.
Wow, that was just such an intense debate battle. It makes me wonder, what will happen to the medical side in technology? So doctor, what do you think will happen to the healthcare system?
Well, thank you, Sam. When it comes to technology, the more it evolves over time, the easier it'll be to have a healthy life in the future. Have you ever wondered how to cure a type of disease that is extremely severe or hard to find? Then basically, nanobots would be the ones for the job, especially during surgery. They would find the damaged part, then replace it with the undamaged part that the doctors give them. This could save a lot of lives in the future. We could even create a type of food that could save millions or could be billions of lives in the next 50 years. Thank you.
Accurate answer. But if all this thing is happening, how will it affect the environment? And what do you think of that?
Thanks for the question. What can I see now is some countries in the world are fighting for personal and economic benefits. Since then, they focus on the economy instead of the life quality of people. I can feel the impact of global climate change somewhat alive now. Recently, Vietnam and some neighboring countries also suffered a silver typhoon and flood. Also, with many wildfires and emission, the hard earth even harder. According to statistics, the earth will warm from 4 to 7 Celsius degrees. More seriously, the Arctic will completely disappear by ice melting. Sea level will also rise, leaving many cities flooded with water. Because of that, I think the earth will not be safe for us to live in.
From what I gather, could discrimination become more prevalent because other cities are not as technologically advanced as some of its contemporary counterparts? What if people think instead of having these lumps of meat as body parts, they could replace it with a much more stronger version of it? I've come up with a theory. What if cities becomes abandoned? what happens to the people living there? What if the future isn't so bright as we thought it is? What if people live on another planet? Could that all happen? That's why we'll be having a special guest. But before that, let's take a break. Welcome back to the talk show. And we're having a special guest today. That is Mr. Nguyen De Quy. Thanks for being on the show.
Good evening, my pal. What an honor. Hey, let me tell you something. I'm really sad right now because I need to leave our lovely Earth.
Why?
Well, for the past 5 minutes, you've been heard that almost everything on Earth is getting bigger. But one thing for sure, the humanity will definitely have to deal with bigger problems. To be honest, this world shall be at its wit's end unless we have action right away. For me, the answer is simple, yet hard to happen. We can just move out to a different location.
But how is that possible?
Well, dozens of scenarios have been speculated, and Mars is believed to be the new aspiration for the fate of humanity. First of all, Mars is the perfect playground for scientists and the government to collaborate in our new world's growth.
There's a lot of conflicting ideas on both sides of the same coin, both good and bad. But we mustn't forget that humanity is the key to change the world. This is our future.
What's yours?